안녕하세요, 김신무입니다. 저는 필리핀 마닐라에 와 있는데 이크마라고 하는 이게 이크마가 인터내셔널 크리스천 마리타임 어소시에이션이에요. 그래서 국제 그리스도교 회사 협회라는 건데 다들 이제 해양 사목에서 일하고 있는 천주교뿐만 아니고 개신교도 포함되어 있는 에큐메니컬 협회입니다. 오늘 여기서 연수를 하고 있고 오늘은 아모숲이라는 데를 방문하게 됩니다. 더 많이 배워서 한국 교회의 해양 사목의 발전에 초석이 될 수 있는 그런 것들을 배우고 돌아오도록 하겠습니다.
Wow. Hyundai especially, yeah.
So many young seafarers from Korea, in Vancouver.
In Vancouver, yes.
Wow.
Yes. So down there is down towards the financial district. I love plants. So all these palm trees. So this was a fortified city, basically.
How was the traffic, man? Good morning, sister. Good morning, sister. How are you? Amosup이 Associated Marine Officers and Seamen's Union of the Philippines. 이게 앞글자를 따서 아모숲이라고 썼습니다.
Please welcome by the Icma members in your own house.
Thank you, Father Paulo. How are you? So nice to see everybody here. Now I'm obliged to speak in English, so I just want to understand me now. So good morning, everybody, and welcome to Amosup. It's so nice to see. I saw Father Bruno. Thank you very much. Nice to see you again. You know, I was. They told me that I have to speak. Father Paulo said I have to speak, or else I won't go to heaven. So now I hope that I go to heaven because I'm speaking to you now. Yeah, and then Father Paulo asked me what my favorite Bible verse is. He always asks me. I said it's 1 Peter chapter 3. Wives, be submissive to your husbands. Just kidding, just kidding. I don't tell that to my wife because my wife will kill me. Anyway, welcome everybody, and it's so nice to see everybody. All our Icma International Christian Maritime Association members here in the Philippines, and we'd like to welcome you in our facilities in Amosup, especially to Jason. Thank you very much, Jason, for coming over. Where are you? There you are. So I said, please congratulate Dave for me, so I'm the president of SIU. So I already texted him, and they've answered back. So thank you very much again, and I hope you have a very fruitful meeting here, or engaging I think you engaged the government yesterday or something, and engaging other people, other stakeholders here in the Philippines, because as I said, as it's known, a lot of I think 1/3 of seafarers around the world are Filipinos, and you know, we Filipinos are God-fearing people, and you won't have a hard time preaching us, telling us, because everybody has an image of the Virgin Mary in their house, so no problem. and the Last Supper in their dining room. So we're very God-fearing and we're always putting God first in whatever we do. And so I hope you engage us more, you enforce that more in our minds so that, as it is known, spiritual health is more important than really physical. So I'm a doctor, I should not be telling you that. Or else I'll be out of a job. Anyways, again, thank you very much for coming over. I hope you enjoy the rest of the week, the rest of your program here, and I hope you have a fruitful stay. Enjoy our facilities. We have, I'm sure you'll be touring our facilities, the hospital, the sailors' homes, and this is our headquarters, our office. You're welcome to go around and see, and then also talk to our staff and see what we do here in Amosup. I'm sure Noel will be presenting and we will be presenting something about Amosup. So again, thank you very much for coming over. We welcome you, and I hope I get more brownie points from God, so that's because I welcome you all of you today. Thank you very much.
We cannot assure you heaven, Dr. Oka, but we'll try our best. Dr. Oka, if you have additional 2 minutes, please, and can we call on Jason? Thank you.
Dr. Oka, thank you so much for the welcome here at Amosup. It's lovely to be here. We came for the same course, I think, 6 or 7 years ago, and it was a plan to come every 2-3 years, but indeed we had a pandemic in the middle, which made it very difficult to plan anything. So the fact that we have so many people here together with us coming from all different continents is really wonderful. Just the fact that we're here physically already is good, and the fact that you have shown such hospitality is even better. Thank you for the use of the minibus. Thank you for the meal that you give to us. All of these things show the hospitality of Amosup, but also of the Philippines people as well. We are learning so much this week. Learning about traffic this morning was part of the learning process. Learning all the wonderful places in Intramuros is so important. But I hope to underline one thing being here today, and that is why it's so important to have a good communication with our labor colleagues. Whether it's the local unions of the different countries or the ITF inspectors, as we'll meet the local ITF inspector and go to the Seafarers Center tonight. I underline how important that is for serving seafarers in general and Filipino seafarers in specific. There are so many cases that we've participated with local ITF inspectors or other unions on throughout the pandemic. I highlight issues of abandonment, issues of other mistreatment of seafarers, crew vaccination. Many in this room helped to provide Filipino seafarers, many thousands of Filipino seafarers with vaccinations. And all of these things were done in partnerships with our labor and union colleagues. And so I'm very, very thankful for that partnership. So thank you for welcoming us here today. Thank you for your friendliness and your hospitality. And I think we'll enjoy the day together with all. Thank you. In order for us to make this official, I'm wondering if we could take a picture with you. That would be good. And so everyone, this is part of the Philippine experience. Everything needs a picture. So if you could come again here to the front.
If you have any questions, I will please address them.
Isang pangarap. Hindi biro ang buhay man talaga. Malayo sa pamilya, malapit sa peligro. Pero ito ang katuparan ng isang pangarap. Pangarap na nakamit sa tulong ng maraming tao.
naabutan ako ng lockdown dito sa Manila, hindi ako nakauwi agad. Inabutan ako ng lockdown yung pinakahuling isip ko dito sa Manila.
Naabutan po ako ng lockdown sa barko. Pabalik na ako ng barko and then unfortunately nagkaroon ng lockdown.
Ever since naman yung Amosup, kahit nung wala pang lockdown, malaking tulong na talaga sa aming mga marino, lalo na sa aming mga taga-probinsya. Ang Amosup, Silver Stone, ang nagsisilbing tahanan namin dito sa Manila. Parang pamilya na rin namin.
Sa panahon sa lockdown, anak ako sa barko. Pag-uli na ko, pag kumasa akong kontrata, abot pa ko nila sa Amosup, Silver Stone.
Mayroon silang binigay ng mga toiletries na kaya ng sabon, toothpaste, shampoo. Pero pa sa amin hanggang matapos yung ECQ.
Malaking bagay po yung Amosup sa mga members dahil naoperahan po ako dati sa Seamen Hospital. Wala po akong ginastos kahit piso.
Dito kayo pinakabutan ng lockdown sa Amosup.
Release ko sa amin, Sir Roca, yung pagbilang pa namin. Nadala ko pa sa pamilya.
Yun ang ginastos namin na during lockdown. Sa akin dito sa pamilya ko.
Anumang pagsubok, laging andito ang Amosup na handang tumulong sa mga miyembro nito at mga pamilyang naiiwan habang sila ay nakasakay sa barko. Dahil ang Amosup ay itinatag dahil sa inyo, para sa inyo.
Ako ay Amosup.
Ako ay Amosup.
Ako ay Amosup.
Ako ay Amosup.
Ako ay Amosup. Ako ay Amosup.
Ako ay Amosup. Ako ay Amosup. Ako ay Amosup. Ako ay Amosup.
Oo, ay Amosup.
Ako ay Amosup.
Kami ay Amosup. Kami ay Amosup.
a promise for a brighter future, a promise to return safely to the harbor, yet still sailing closer to the seafarer's dream. More than 5 decades ago, our voyage began with a basic goal. It was the need to provide proper compensation for the Filipino seafarer. And now, we sail forward to more fulfilling chapters. Together, we hope, we act, and we find ways to serve better. We are Amosup. In 1960, Captain Gregorio S. Oca organized the Associated Marine Officers Union of the Philippines, with Roberto Oca, head of Philippine Transport and General Workers Organization as the mother federation. In the same year, Brother Donato Alapon formed the Associated Seamen's Union of the Philippines. Collective bargaining agreements with individual shipping companies were negotiated. Support was provided to our countrymen, helping motivate more and more seafarers to move the tides of progress. After a decade, AMO and ASUP merged to form the Associated Marine Officers and Seamen's Union of the Philippines. Amosup was born, and the unwavering commitment to look after the best interests of our members is realized through our anchors. We look at each anchor as a complete benefit to bring stability and a clearer purpose to every Amosup member.
Proud na proud po ako ang asawa ko po member ng Amosup. Sa Amosup, maraming salamat po sa invitation mo sa iyo.
We negotiate to provide more benefits to seafarers via collective bargaining agreements. We bring aid to seafarers and their families through financial and legal assistance. The Seamen's Hospital and satellite Amosup hospitals were built, and we continue to put the members' well-being first by providing quality health care. By upgrading their skills. And we have also created the Seamen's Training Center and Professional Career Development Center. To elevate the Filipino into being a world-class seaman through a higher level of education, the Maritime Academy of Asia and the Pacific was founded. We provide refuge and a haven of comfort for the seafarer who spends time away from home, even before he boards the ship. We have sailors' home and activity center in Manila. In Iloilo, in Cebu, and in Davao. as they embark on their next journey, the Slum Chest offers food and non-food commodities at more affordable prices. Today, the Philippines sends off hundreds of thousands of seafarers, making our country one of the biggest provider of manpower for the maritime industry. Each seafarer embarks on a journey with a dream, and every dream fulfilled is an inspiration to other Filipinos who just sail on to a better life. Every service given, every benefit felt, every life touched. This is our accomplishment, and Amosup looks forward to creating and bringing more anchors to more Filipinos. The voyage continues. We set our course. We raise our sails to uplift and bring direction. And we pay tribute and celebrate Filipino seamanship through true service.
We are optimistic about the direction our industry is going amid the pandemic. Since the beginning, we have proven that we are resilient as a community. And we, together with the government, the private sector, and other stakeholders, are able to work collaboratively to accomplish our goals.
This year has brought us to unexpectedly tough battles at sea. Some dreams have been cancelled and hope has somehow remained stranded. Yet despite these pressing times, we continue to serve with sea of opportunities. We continue to break barriers. We continue to cross the boundaries. And we continue to sail forward. Year 1960, when the selfless service and commitment were initiated by the master seafarer, mariner, and visionary, the late Captain Gregorio S. Oca. It was 60 years ago when Captain Oca established the Associated Marine Officers and Seamen's Union of the Philippines to champion the welfare and rights of the Filipino seafarers around the globe. In the 6 decades since its inception, Amosup has grown to become the largest seafarers union in the country, receiving various recognitions in the Philippines and beyond. Anchored in its mission to serve the Filipino seafarers all over the world, Amosup continues to labor to fight for the social, legal, and moral rights of its members. The organization continues to envision the expansion of health benefits among the members and their families throughout the archipelago through the Seamen's Hospital. Aside from the non-stop modernization program of the hospitals in Cebu, Iloilo, Davao, Dagupan, and Manila, Amosup continues to provide the well-deserved social and legal benefits among its members through the Provident Fund, welfare and mutual benefit plan, Amosup Legal Services, Seamen's Village, Slot Chest, and Sailor's Home. The organization continues to improve not only the services they provide, but also improves the abilities and talents of our seafarers and cadets through the Amosup Seamen's Training Centers and the Maritime Academy of Asia and the Pacific.
We pay homage to the seafarers who continue to embark on the high seas to provide for their families and to move the world's economy, despite the daunting challenges brought about by the pandemic.
The world may have stopped, but your work continues. You, our dear Filipino seafarers, remain our heroes amid the pandemic. 60 years is more than just a number. It is indeed the face of every Filipino seafarer over the years. 60 years may have been full of accomplishments, of unstoppable commitment and services. But more than achievements is your story. Stories that are more worthy than diamonds and gold combined.
To our members and all the seafarers across the world, we at Amosup appreciate and value you. We are grateful for you and the work you do, your hard work and sacrifice. As we reach our 60th year since our founder, Captain Gregorio Oca, established Amosup, we still uphold our mission to serve you and to champion your rights and welfare.
Nais ko rin magpasalamat sa ating mga magdalaga, sa ating mga miyembro. Napakalaking tulong po dahil sa galing ninyo ay tayo ngayon ang palaging hinahanap ng mga ship owners at ating mga social partners. Let us pledge that we will continue giving the best that we can to ensure that Amosup will continue to grow and continue to develop and continue to ensure that our economy and the nation will improve.
We are more than an organization. We are family. Our commitment to you continues beyond our mission and vision. May we all come out stronger and sail forward in hope and solidarity after this adversity.
Dito sa Amosup, walang humpay ang pagkilala at pasasalamat sa bawat marinero at marinerang Pilipino. Mabuhay ang Pilipinong mandaragat.
Ang inyong kwento ang nagpapatibay sa ating organisasyon. Ang inyong tagumpay ay ang inyong inspirasyon. Kayo ang Amosup. Happy 60th Anniversary, Associated Marine Officers and Seamen's Union of the Philippines. Isang malaking pagkilala at pasasalamat sa bawat Pilipinong mandaragat.
Now has about more or less 100,000 members, both active and inactive. And it is, as you have seen from the video, Amosup is more or less a welfare organization. It's a labor organization, but geared more on the welfare of its members and their families. It has more or less established regional offices or establishments nationwide. No? Manila, Cebu, Iloilo, Davao, and now Dr. Oca has recently opened our Bacolod facility, which houses another medical institution and some, I would say, multi-purpose structures. Again, included in our expansion because of the ever-increasing demand or requirement from our members who live outside of the metropolitan Manila area. We are about to finish another sailor's home here in Intramuros. In fact, right now, later on, my colleague, Attorney Henry Zamora and Mr. J. Tom Pineda will accompany you in making a short tour of our establishments here in Intramuros. Alone here in Intramuros, we have about 7 or 8 structures. No? all for them, all for our members and their dependents. We hope we can do more. Is Dr. Oka's, I would say, advocacy to provide more and more benefits and privileges available to our members. Aside from providing welfare, of course, as a union, we provide employment, and to ensure that this employment has with it better terms and conditions of work. Now, we all know that there is this NLC, and in collaboration with ITF and other stakeholders, our CBAs, and even the Philippine employment contract that more or less align its provisions with the NLC. Well, the issue of EMSA is another concern which the government has now really given priority. Last, I think early February of this year, no less than our President, Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos, had a meeting in Brussels with the different global stakeholders, and as a result of which he established or formed the International Advisory Committee or Council for Maritime Affairs, especially to address this EMSA issue and other pressing concerns. Now, I do not know, Father Paulo, are we going to have, oh, Mr. Jason, Brother Jason. Yes, that sounds it all, and I will give the floor to Brother Jason.
I wanted to ask a question actually just before handing over. Can you tell us more, what's Amosup's position on this EMSA issue? What do you as a union think about the EMSA audit, and what are you doing as a union?
Yes, EMSA is a very important and pressing concern for us, especially that the Philippines is a major labor supplying country. And we are at the forefront in ensuring that the Philippines would pass the EMSA audit. Amosup is present in both the legislative and the executive fora, no? In making representations that the government would swiftly and responsibly address the EMSA concerns.
If it's okay, perhaps there might be one or two other questions if you would be willing to answer any questions.
Yes, sir. Please.
Are there any questions on what you heard in the videos or any other questions for Amosup? I believe there's a microphone here in the middle. If you want to step towards the microphone, please introduce yourself and where you're from.
Is it working? Is it working?
Yeah.
Okay. Just a quick question. Gary Roseman from Vancouver, Canada. You said that there's about 100,000 members. So that's, going by the numbers I saw yesterday, that's roughly between a third and a quarter of the total Filipino seafarer population. So my question is, are there other unions also that seafarers are members of, and are they also connected with ITF, and just in general, what's the situation? And would all seafarers be part of some kind of a union like this?
Right now, aside from Amosup, there is another ITF affiliated union, which is the Associated Philippine Seafarers Union under the umbrella of the Trade Union Congress of the Philippines. There are other unions like the Mateo Maritime Association, but not so much membership. And then we also have the United Filipino Seafarers and the Union of Filipino Seafarers. But I would say the majority unions are those ITF affiliated. And in the Philippines, especially in the maritime sector, we espouse the freedom of association and the right to collective bargaining.
Are there any other questions that you might wish to ask? Please.
I'm Icma Ahoy with Stella Maris in Vancouver. I had the privilege of visiting here in the fall of 2019, just before COVID hit, and also the hospital in Cebu, etc. I was so impressed. So ever since, whenever I visit an all Filipino crew aboard the ship, I always ask them, are you Amosup members? But I need some clarification because it seems like the whole vessel needs to be members. They don't have, so sometimes you say to me, well, I was a member on the previous vessel, but not on this vessel. This vessel is not affiliated with. So can you clarify the vessel affiliation versus individual membership to Amosup?
Okay, actually, we go to the nitty-gritty of what we call the union membership. You are a union member, whether it's Amosup, APSU, or other, I would say, Philippine Union. We're talking of a Philippine jurisdiction. The vessel should be covered by a collective bargaining agreement. And how does this happen? Only when the ship owner or the principal employer would enter into negotiations for a collective bargaining agreement with ITF or any of its affiliates. So, if you're in a vessel with a valid and existing ITF agreement, or for that matter, any of the ITF affiliated unions, those are which carry the national flag, like the NIS, the IS, or the Dutch, then you are automatically a member of Amosup. I think it also goes with foreign nationals. No? Every time, like for example, a Danish on board, a Danish flag with a collective bargaining agreement with ITF, he becomes a member of the union. I hope I addressed the question. Thank you. Any other question?
Yeah, one more question if anyone wants to ask. Yes, sir.
Good morning, I'm Monica from Stella Maris, Hamburg, Germany. And yesterday we also heard about the challenges for young seafarers when they finish seafaring schools, that there are not enough jobs for all of them. So what can be done to help young people before they enter seafaring school and then they don't have the opportunity to become a seafarer in the end? How can that be solved?
Actually, right now, the Philippine government has this what you call a K-12 program, wherein usually I would say secondary education is up to about grade 10. No? But then they added up 2 more years to more or less have an extended education for them to see where their aptitude is. And during these 2 years, they are given the opportunity to, I would say, see. The prospects are given within these 2 years to see what field of, I would say, career path they would like to take. And the seafaring profession is included. And with Amosup, every year we have qualifying, I say, qualifying examinations conducted nationwide, wherein our Maritime Academy of Asia and the Pacific goes around the country in specific places in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao to conduct examinations for I would say students who wish to pursue their seafaring career. This qualifying examinations upon passing would become a cadet. A cadet for 4 years under a scholarship program, free education. All that he has to do is bring his clothes. It's what you call a free board and lodging, and normally ship owners, employers, principal would sponsor their education for 4 years. Everything is paid, and after which their employment on board ships of that principal is guaranteed for another 4 years.
Father Paolo. I said one more question, but Father Paolo doesn't count.
Yes.
Just ask,
If you allow me to what you are saying, because I think, Monica, the issue we talked about, we know the reality of the students, but perhaps it is nice for us to know that any one graduating from MA is an officer.
Yes.
That is what makes MA very unique. So basically, if I may share, the MA is the one producing officers, 300, 400 a year. In addition to that, there is another maritime school, PMMA, which belongs to the government. So these two schools, once somebody gets out of the school, basically they get out in 2 ways. I will not be a seafarer, or I will be an officer. And that should be the goal. Now, this is not the reality of the Philippines. Am I right, attorney? This is not. And I guess that is what worries a chaplain. Because the guys that we may receive in our ports, they are not necessarily officers, they are ratings. And we know very well what it means, in addition to the non-marine. So the uniqueness of MA is officers. The uniqueness of PMMA, which is 100% funded by the government, together with the one there in Balumpong, is officers. I guess this piece of information makes MA unique. If I may, sir, Attorney, please, this is in times of uncertainties. We have been through this pandemic. Can you make any comment on mental health? I know what you do, I know what we do together, but please, thank you.
On mental health, Amosup again, together with the ITF, has placed again one of its priorities in the mental health of its seafarers. And every now and then we conduct seminars on this, and we have programs with Icma. I think even Stella Maris, Father Paulo Prigol has also conducted seminars on this. And with Amosup, we have what we call telecon or teleconsult. It's a 24/7 telephone consultation, and it's available even when you're on board, even if you're in the province or in Manila. These are, I would say, basic medical information, including mental health. It's a 24/7 access line and help desk.
Thank you very much, Attorney. Thank you for your comments and for welcoming us here. We enjoyed the video to see all the expansive work of Amosup, and I think it will be very fun to see with our own eyes when we see some of your facilities here in Intramuros. So thank you for your time together with us. At this time, Father Paolo, oh, he's here. We have have a few guests for a small round table just before then we go out to visit all of the seafarers who will be coming right after the sisters will speak. But it's appropriate that we have them here at this time because sisters do a lot of visiting here in the Amosup hospital. So when there are 6 seafarers, these are the hospital visitors, the ship visitors, one might say, of the hospital here. So sisters, could you please tell us a bit about your ministry here, about visiting 6 seafarers? And I would love it if you could share also encouragement, as some of us also get to visit some 6 seafarers once in a while, so your experience is interesting. Please, sisters, thank you so much.
Good morning to everyone. I'm Sister Vicky Sanchez of Stella Maris, Manila. And I'm so happy to be here with you this morning. I'm going to share with you one of our services of Stella Maris, Manila. Visiting 6 seafarers and their families at home and in the hospital. There are about 50 hospitals here in Manila, and you only visit some of these hospitals whenever there are seafarers or family members are confined in these hospitals, and when they ask us to visit them. But thanks be to God that we have this Amosup hospital are welcoming us. And thank you to Dr. Conrad Oka to welcome us back after the pandemic. Usually, I visit the 6 seafarers in the male ward. And in our visitation, we try to introduce to them ourselves. And they can relate right away when we have to mention that we are from Stella Maris, and that they have to tell their stories. Very nice experience over there, overseas. And they said they have a very good experience there with you guys, providing them with free Wi-Fi, free transportation to and from the port, providing them with the facilities they need, and also giving them some giveaways. So they're very happy to relate their experiences and also of their own family life. And the common diseases or sickness of the seafarers are gallbladder stone, kidney stone, hernia, varicose veins, and some of them have these accidents, vehicular accidents. Okay, so when we visited last week, somebody asked us a question. How can you, as an organization, help us in this regard? We would like to have also, because we are telling them that we need to have a healthy lifestyle, because health really is very important. Because if they are not really healthy, then they're not fit to work. If they are not fit to work, then they cannot go on board. And so one of the seafarers asked, the one we visited, can you help us so that we can have, because you are only ratings or ordinary seafarers, you have no voice in the ship, and whatever food served to us, we cannot complain. How can you as an organization help us that we will be able to eat the right food, the healthy food on board? And I would like to throw this question to the Icma. How can we as an organization help these seafarers that the principal might provide them the right and healthy food they need on board ship? Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Sister Archel, the same staff of the Stella Maris, Manila. Okay, so same with Sister Vicky, I am also visiting the hospital in the female surgical ward. So I am visiting the wives of the seafarers. And the common sickness of the wives are just the same with the husband. Gallbladder problem or laparoscopy, and then kidney stone, kidney problem, kidney infection, like that. And then hypertension also, because of the intake of food. And then we are also, especially those who are going to be operated, they're asking for prayers. You are also having the praying over to them, to dispel the fears that they are feeling. And then we also give rosaries and magazines of Stella Maris. And aside from that, aside from the female surgical ward, we also visited the pediatric, the babies or the kids of the children of the seafarers. And the sickness are LBM, lost bowel movement, fever, and dengue. So the parents are also very happy when we visited them. So my companion in visiting the seafarers' wives, out of seafarers are the group of the seafarers' wives. We have also the Stella Maris Manila Seafarers Group, Seafarers Wives Group. So they are having their schedule to accompany me in visiting the sick seafarers' wives in the hospital. So in this ministry, I also blessed that I have given the chance to visit the seafarers' families who are sick. And I could feel that our visit, our prayers really give them joy, comfort, and consolation. And I could feel that God, they feel God's presence in the midst of their sufferings and sickness. I am also getting the names of the patients and their contact numbers so that I can also follow up. How are they, or are they going well already? And then they really reply, and they're very grateful because they feel the care of the Stella Maris in their lives. That's all. Thank you.
So at this time, I'd like our two seafarers to join up in the front. I'm very thankful they're with us. It's a little bit of a challenge to find seafarers who are out on the world's oceans, to find them, to schedule them to come and speak. So if the two could come to the front, that's wonderful. And you can take a seat with sisters. If you could both introduce yourselves and say a bit about your sailing experience, and then after that I have a few follow-up questions.
First of all, good morning to each and every one of you. I'm so nervous, but I did not expect at all that there are crowd. But okay, so my name is Sheena Labastida May Labastida. I'm a second officer in a general cargo ship. My employer is from Netherlands, so I sail in a small ship, coaster ship, with 10 crew members aboard maximum. So I think first I introduce myself. So that's all. I'm Sheena May Labastida. It's so nice to see these faces here this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good noon. I'm Ray Noval Eduardo, second officer, tanker experience. I started from grade 8 to officers. I started in UPL as grade king, then I went to PS and was promoted into tankers. Then my last I employed one company was Magsaysay, MOL, Travis Company. Right now, I'm applying for in Safeguard, second week. And I'm also a Cebuano, graduated in UC. Most of my experience, tanker experience, from pure chemicals, LNG, LPG, LCC. And that's all.
My first question to both of you if you sailed in the last 2-3 years, what was your experience on board, especially in times of lockdown and other problems? What was that experience? Tell us a bit about being a seafarer in a very difficult time.
Yeah, for the last 3 years, because we all know that there was a pandemic, so every shipping companies, especially our companies, they implement this that we should not go outside, because if we catch COVID outside, everybody, including the company, will be at risk. So during this time, it's very difficult because emotional, and also we didn't have a chance to connect to the families, because mostly the ships don't have internet. So, but it is very lucky if we get to have Seamen's Club who will come on board and introduce some internet SIM cards, calling cards, and yeah, something like this.
Which ports did you visit maybe in that time?
Rouen in France, and we also visit Belgium and in Germany. Yeah, these ports, they have Seamen's Club, and during this time of the pandemic, they will come in the ship and will give us a free SIM cards, something like this. And I remember UK also, UK and mostly in Europe, they have their very near Seamen's mission.
Thank you. We have a number of people in the crowd from UK and Netherlands, or rather from Germany, other Seamen's Club. So maybe you know some people in the crowd, you just don't know it.
Yeah, that's very nice. That if somebody of you here came from there, it was very nice, and we are very thankful in general, the seafarers. We're very thankful of this Seamen's mission.
The question to your colleague, can you tell us, in the pandemic, what was your experience in the last 2-3 years, and how did you cope with the challenges that you faced?
So, when the pandemic exists, what was 2020, there were rules, but not really strict. But we were told already that this you have to extend our own our contracts. By me, I had to extend. My contract was actually that's 9 months, so I had to extend almost a year because there's no relief. So I almost ended up with 14 months. Even though the trip was only Punta Europa to Rotterdam. At that time, we had to load methanol from GOG, then discharge it to Rotterdam, Garcia, Spain, and all these Europe areas. But we had to, the company told us that we had to endure and extend because of this pandemic. Only one thing is that we had good internet, so mostly we had to talk to our families, even though we're very tired and bored on the ship. At least this internet just give us a little bit ease up to talk with our families. Right now they have this COVID management plan, which usually we have to follow. Even though we had a face-to-face situation, but still we had to implement all those distance situations and all this.
Thank you very much. One of the questions that was asked just shortly ago to Mr. Partido was about mental health on board. And I'm wondering if you could tell us something about, whether you don't have to be too personal, but just in terms of the cruise that you're on, what's the importance of mental health for the rest of your crews and your crew members? And what kind of resources or what kind of techniques did you have to make sure the crew morale stayed high? And how did you see that through the pandemic or in general as a seafarer?
For me, most of my management officers, like the captains, we always have, even the open seas, we all have these basketball games, barbecue parties, And mostly, we had to talk to each other. Even though, especially we didn't know, because some of the crews, even though they had the problems with their family, and they really don't talk to us. But still, by talking to them, then we can always see a little bit their problems, especially if the children go bigger and bigger, they cannot control it.
In my opinion, it's really big impact if on the ship good internet connection. It should be always and mandatory to have this good speed internet connection because it will relieve the stress of every seaman after work. And also, what we do to cope up is we had free games on board, like video games, we have this on board, but our internet is not so good this time. So, but we didn't have any problem regarding our mental and emotional and relationship to the family. So far in my career, there's no something like this, but it would really ease our hard work there if we have good internet on board. But sometimes, only during on board, we have a very nice internet if we buy our own private SIM cards. But on the ship itself, it's not so good speed. But anyway, to make this short, the sailor also must be mentally prepared living on board. And then also on board, it's a kind of working together as a team and helping each other in this kind of environment on board. So yeah, that is all regarding situations.
Thank you so very much. I can continue to ask questions, but I know our time is going on, and I'm wondering if anyone from the group has a question for either sisters or our seafarers. And if you could come, Father Bruno, do we have one other microphone, or do I have to share the microphone that I have? If you can, I think in the back, we have time, I think, for 2 or 3 questions, and then we are going to go on our big tour of the Amosup facilities. If you could stand and say your name and where you're from.
Yes, I'm Charles Stewart from Stella Maris in the south of England. And my question is really for the sisters. It's wonderful that you're here, and I was really interested in what you had to say about looking after families. I was interested, given that the Philippines are spread over a large area and lots of different islands, how you can help families who are far away from here, how you keep in touch with them. I know that you have helped in something that I had to bring to you, so I appreciate the importance of looking after families.
Okay, thank you. I just like to share in Stella Maris, Manila. It's my 3rd year this year. When I came, there are groups already of seafarers' wives group. And during the pandemic, we are also, because that group, they have the formation program, 4 dimensions of the ongoing formation program, like the prayer life and intellectual life. Always are attending seminars, to learn something, and then also the social life or bonding and pastoral or mission. So that 4 dimensions, we are really trying to give them information or trying to build the relationship. And during this pandemic, because we cannot go out, Father Paulo is also giving, we have these webinars because we cannot go out face to face to attend seminars. So Father is giving us a talk on mental health, the pandemic journey. And also we have this talk on family relationship, also the financial budget management because of the wives, how to budget the money that they receive from their husband. And I know that these activities can help them very much. And aside from that, they have also the training. Just recently, they attended the training on sewing and weaving. And it will also have their livelihood later on when they are trying to sew the clothes or trying to sell their whatever they made. And there is a continuation of the programs. We have also just recently, we have the Christmas Family Outreach Program. We went to the foundation of, we help in the foundation of the elderly and the disabled person. So they gave food and gifts, and we went there. Before we distribute the gifts and the food, we have the caroling to them. And then they were so happy, that we came and really let them feel the spirit of Christmas. So during our planning, we have the planning during this month of February. So we are really thinking of activities that really can help them in the 4 dimension of their formation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have time for one more question. Yeah, over here. Last but not least.
Good morning. My name is Steve and I'm from Dampier in Western Australia. I have a question for really the two seafarers. Maybe the female friend of ours more so, but I'd love to hear from both of you. In my ship visiting, I think I can count on one hand the amount of female seafarers that I've come across. And that's in the hundreds of other seafarers, so a very small percentage. I wondered if you could share just a little bit of how female seafarers are received on board, and also some of the good things and maybe tricky things about being a female seafarer. We're getting a follow-up of also why, as a female, you chose to be a seafarer. So just a little bit in that space. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. So I graduated 2014. I became apprentice, and then I became OS, ordinary seaman, and then I became AD. And after cadetship, it was already very hard, especially for the female seafarers, because you already know about it. It's a men environment. But I think it's always, if the female wanted to become a seafarer, it's always in the passion. If you don't have passion, if you are just going there for the money, I don't think that you can survive if you are a female going there. So it's always strength and passion and courage. It's not very simple, and also I don't know how is it in the past years, but it gets better every year, especially the programs, and it's getting very I mean, you can count your hand, but I think it's already common now to have a woman seafarer. And in our company we are already 2, so it's not 1 anymore. It's 2 already. So my company, after they hire me, so they hire again 1 female. So that only means that the shipping companies nowadays, they are very open regarding that kind of, they are very open, and the female are also welcoming in this kind of job. And I think, yeah, that's all. You are asking regarding if it is safe. Yeah, it is safe. It is absolutely safe because, first of all, the woman who will come on board, she already studied, she already maybe not fully known, but yeah, it depends upon the situation. But I think nowadays it's widely accepted. I think so.
Thank
yeah,
you.
from my experience.
Thank you so much. That was really appreciated. Thank you for your comments. And thank you both for your last minute call-ups to join us for this short panel. We have a tour to make of the various Amosup things, but this has been a real highlight to hear from you sisters and also from our two seafarers. Please, thank our seafarers. Father Bruno is going to bring to you a small gift. It's more of a souvenir. These are our mugs that we've made for the week for all our guests. So thank you very much. When you have your coffee on board ship, you can bring and remember your impromptu speech before this crowd. Thank you so much. We're going to have our tour now. Do we have instructions for the tour? Sorry?
Thank you. Good morning again, guys. We are now, this is the part that we are going to start our tour with the facilities of Amosup within Intramuros. And as I can see, we have a big number here. So for us to have a systematic tour, I suggest that we group ourselves into five groups. So we'll be touring you here in Seamen Center, the Sailor's Home, the Slab Chest, and of course the hospital. So that we will also be touring you to the gym facilities of our seafarers, and also to the place where we hold our vaccination program during the pandemic, and until now, for those people who are still need boosters of their vaccines. Maybe one booster later, maybe we can have you later. Because we have here doctors waiting for people who want boosters. Okay? So again, we ask you to group yourselves into 5 so that I can assign you a tour guide for each group. By the way, this area is the legal department area. We have 4 lawyers here, and the one who spoke to you earlier was Attorney Martino. He is the head of the legal department. We also have our paralegals here, and secretary, and but during pandemic, because of COVID-19, we again changed our system, our protocol, to be online applications. So, Provident Fund, the idea of a Provident Fund is Philippines.
Norway is a good flex.
Yeah. Australia. So that our seafarers still reminded about ship, even though they are in the Philippines. That's why our rooms are actually named after flag state. We have the feminine room who are bringing the show there. And we use the air condition during 6 p.m. Japanese partners and GSU. So in this ground floor, we have our records area where we record our members and their dependents. It's the custodians of all the records, and to make sure that those who are actually availing the hospital and other benefits in the provided by Amosup are actually confirmed, so they can use this. Everything is provided. We provided water. We provided also towels. switch after switch. Now, we are now actually a few every minute because everyone in the is actually up. Yeah, we're a small group.
Before turnover, the problem with some of the testing centers, they can only do it. Turnover time, will take days, several days. With this lab, we can do it within the day. We can give the result within 24 hours. So it's way easier to clear our seafarers. Most of the injuries happen because of the wrong way of lifting.
Yeah, emergency cases.
This is Tomatenapfel.
마닐라 주교자 성당. 결혼식이 있었나봐요. 혼배 미사가 진행되고.
Who said the famous line, I shall return, but he returned late. Because he... No sir, because American passport mix. What about the yellow? Because we're not the plant, we're the
You go first.
Oh.
You go first.
Oh, another one. I have exempted from the rule. Okay.
You go
Oh,
first.
would you like to take? They lived in for 4 years because the Spanish priest don't want or don't allow his son to be married because it's the state at the time. And this is the place after 5 a.m. because some homeless people make their wee-wee. And
Center under Amosup. I'm the IT inspector here in Manila. I'm Arvin Ivan Peranta. And I'm Gary Misa. I'm the welfare officer of MISC. We welcome you. As per request by Jason, at least we have a group picture here before we enter. And we would suggest once enter. This is Manila International Seafarer Center. It's a port welfare facility where seafarers can come and enjoy MISS amenities. We have lounge area, we have audio video room, we have a mini bar, also we have pool, darts, billiards, and
use it to strengthen us to your service.
so,